to get to basically what I did was come from Lonnie Donegan to blues, through to jazz, and right through from traditional jazz to modern jazz, into rock and roll, and then to playing acoustic guitar. So I came through a lot of different specific little areas in music that don't really exist anymore, that were all still played or being played by either the originators or the young people who were copyists.
Yes.
And so that you were influenced by and classical music as well, so that you were influenced by all kinds of things. That's not really possible anymore, because music has gone into a different thing altogether, where it's becoming digitalized now, and it's a mishmash. iTunes is a dump where you dump, hundreds of thousands of tracks at once with shovels, with big shovels. You have this probably, I can have this image of workers at the coalface piling songs into a bottomless pit.
Right.
I
know what you're saying. Were you almost creating new rules in that
yes.
time?
We created our own rules.
You were starting almost everything from a fresh sheet of paper. Really.
We re-exported to the USA what we'd received as old kids, as teenagers. What we'd received as teenagers got re-exported to the USA and was incredibly successful. Not in my own case, but all of my contemporaries.
Yeah.
In my own case, my material's far too hard. Trying to, for instance, to explain cricket to the Americans isn't really that successful a lot of time.
No, it's not. We've tried and failed, many of us.
It was a super age. It was a super age, and it's not going to appear again like that. So I can. Not really, because the record sales, the record business has gone downhill so far, and other leisure activities have taken over so much that actually we're not in that kind of culture anymore. We're not in the dance set culture, where everybody goes out and buys a record as a cultural function every week. What did you get this week?
Sure.
It's not like that now.
No. You went out and bought your 45 or whatever it was.
Yes,
album.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now it's how much iron have you pumped this week, etc.
75 was when Dennis Lilly scored his 73 not out.
It was 73, right?
And
that I would be sat over there then.
Yeah. You mentioned boycott and snow, and you clearly have a great love of cricket, Roy. Who else really got you going into the game?
Well, I saw, with my dad, I saw Roy Tattersall and
Right.
Cyril Washbrook.
Wow, that's good going back.
Yeah. That was my beginning. But actually my real beginning, I suppose, was seeing the West Indian tourists come over in, I think it might have been the late 40s, but it was probably the early 50s. But it would be very early. And they came to my local ground, which was St Anne's Cricket Club, where Andrew Flintoff started.
Right. Yes.
And they came there, and I got all the autographs, Sonny Ramadin, and all those guys, and they were so exotic. They were really black guys who spoke a different language altogether.
And play cricket in a completely different way too.
Cricket in a wonderful way, and you were left agog, to be honest.
Yes.
To be completely honest, it was like a visit from Mars, and I was taken aback. I was hooked at that point, and I didn't think it was going to become a lifetime's entertainment, a lifetime's pastime.
And those clubs, you mentioned those league clubs. They were really part of weekly life in those areas, weren't they?
Particularly up in Lancashire,
yes.
yes. My grandfather played for Didsbury, you see, and he played for Lancashire Second 11, but his mother told him to give it up. He had to give it up because there were no money in it.
No.
So and then he became, he went into the cotton industry, and he did well in that. But of course, it's very strong up there. It's very strong, as is football, of course. Football's on the same level. Cricket's never, perhaps, suffered because of the success of football, but cricket, let's not forget, is very strong in the Lancashire and Yorkshire leagues.
Yes, still is. Yeah.
Incredibly strong. Yeah. A lot of players are fished out from there. There's one from Burnley playing today.
Yes.
Brilliant boy.
So you still have your Lancashire roots.
One of my
then?
favourites. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I maintain them, but I've travelled so far and wide since then that I'm sort of an indiscriminate citizen of the world now.
Yeah.
Sort of, I don't know where I'm from anymore.
Did you play cricket?
I did. I used to. We did. Yes, if that's what you could call it. I'm a sort of quite an iffy wicket keeper.
Oh right. Okay. But actually, you've got the right sort of build for a keeper.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That's why But it takes a certain amount of bravery to foolishness, foolhardiness, I'd say, to become a wicket keeper anyway. Especially when you're employing a ringer.
Yes.
You've brought in from a minor county to play for your team, unknown to the other team completely, and he's some strapping 6'6", and it's coming towards them like an express train, and you've got to actually figure out how to catch that.
I'd have thought harder would have been keeping wicket to someone like Shane Warne. I mean, you must appreciate what Ian
yes,
Healy had
but
to
there's
do.
nobody on the level that I've ever played at that could bowl like he can.
No.
I mean, that's just a complete oddball, isn't it? I mean, he's from outer space.
But could you imagine keeping wicket to that?
Frankly, no. But you'd like a go, wouldn't you? You'd like an over from Shane Warne would be incredible, wouldn't it?
Fizzing outside the leg stump and whooshing over off stump.
Which way is this one going then?
Yeah.
Watch the hand. You've got no chance.
No.
Watch the hand. Which hand?
No, he's an absolute master. So I mean, charity games and that sort of thing. I think
Best player never to captain Australia, I think.
Shane.
Yeah.
He'd be a good captain, wouldn't he?
He would have been fantastic, I think. He would have had you by the short and curlies.
Yes. But everywhere else that he has captained has
Not
been...
the Australians didn't.
Yeah.
But, I think he's shown with the Rajasthan Royals what he can do.
Indeed.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was going to say who you've played cricket with.
Actually, latterly, only with the Pink Floyd, and I say latterly because that's about 30 years ago. We used to have a yearly, 2 or 3 games a year.
Right.
With my team versus the Pink Floyd team, which was quite hilarious.
I think
really.
it was. Where was this fixture staged?
Talking of ringers, all over the place, mainly in sort of leafy districts of local cricket grounds. We did actually hire the Oval one September. It was rather cool on both levels.
Yeah.
It was actually quite cool, but then rather cool as well.
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. And did you do it justice?
Yeah, we did actually. There was one bowled Harper, caught Harper.
Was there?
Yes, my son bowled. I've seen him bowl at least 3 overs. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But yes, it was. We did it justice. Yes, we did. I have to say. But they were hilarious days. I daren't tell you some of the stories. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to even go there. Don't go there.
Which ones in particular?
No.